Okay, I'm going to work a few problems from this last section, which is a little tougher, but it really can help you understand if you will attempt these and work through these. So we are just given two random terms here, and also you need to know that it's an arithmetic sequence, and then it asks you to find a term that's kind of in between those terms. Okay. So let's create kind of a different sequence over here. If I was doing a much simpler sequence, 2, 4, 6, 8, and I was looking at term 1 to term 4. Okay. So kind of similar. What if they just gave me and they said term 1 is 2, and they said term 4 is 8? Well, how did I get from 2 to 8? What did I do? And here's what you need to look at. Okay? I added a common difference. I added another common difference. I added another common differences. How many common differences did it take to get from term 1 to term 4? It took 3. 1 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so I would take my 2 and I would add, what's the common difference? It's 2 times 3. 2 plus 6 is 8. Let's do another one. If I was just told that the first term is 1, and I was told that the sixth term is 19, okay, then I would need to think term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5, term 6. Sorry, this explanation is kind of longer. Okay. How many common differences would I have to do to get from term 1 to term 6? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 common differences. I would have to do the difference 5 times, and it should get me 19. So I would add 5 common differences from 1 and get to 19. So if I want to find out what the common difference is, I can just solve this equation. 5 differences should be 18. Okay. The common difference is 18 over 5, which is like 3.6. Alright, so let's look up here. Finally, we are given the 16th term, 3017, and we added something to it, okay? Arithmetic sequence is constant addition. We added something numerous times, some number of times. And we want to know the difference to get us to 7817. All right? So what is this in? How many common differences do I have to do to get from 16 to 40? To do that, you just do 40 minus 16 is 24, and boom, that is your in. 3017 plus 24 common differences is 7817. So 24 common differences is 4800. So the common difference is 200. Right? Now, you could go from there and you could work your way all the way back to find term 0, and it's just going to end up being kind of more trouble than it's worth, because we can use this same method now to find the 35th term. All right, so if I start with 3017, I'm going to add the common difference, 200, a certain number of times, and I'll get to term 35. So how many times do I have to add it? N is just what's the difference between those two terms. 35 minus 16 is 19. So as I go between terms, it's just the difference in those term numbers that tells me how many common differences I have to do to get to that 35th term. And again, let's look at the sequence again. This is term 2, and this is term 5. How many differences do I have to do to get there? 1, 2, 3. Just 5 minus 2. Okay, so what is that? 3,800, 6817, term 35. I'm just going to double check that before I stop the video. 3017 plus 200 times 19, 3817. That's the 35th term. So if we know what type of sequence it is and we're just given two terms, we can still find out the value of any term.